What's up, YouTube fans? Today, we're going to take a look at the DX9 Dragstrip. This was sent to me by Michael Rogers. Thank you, Michael Rogers, for allowing me to take a look at this figure. It is actually called Dragstrip, so here, I did show you the box earlier. Here's the collector's card. I've always liked these DX9 collector's cards, but here it says Dragstrip there. There's the back with the tech specs. Kind of weak on everything. My guess on the name is either they decided this is our last figure, and yes, this is their last DX9's last figure, and screw it, let's just use the name, or they made a mistake and then maybe towards the end said, you know what, it's just too much to fix it, let's just leave it. Either way, he's got the official name there. Here is the vehicle mode. It looks really nice, so it does roll very nicely. It's got nice thick rubber tires. It's got those black rims. Rolls very smoothly on those rubber tires. It is fairly hefty, maybe a little bit lighter than Fans Toys, but still, somewhat hefty. You've got that gold paint all the way across. Unfortunately, you do have that visible head syndrome. There is no driver in here on this figure, and you cannot flip that head around, otherwise it runs into the bottom here during transformation, and you'll scratch up the paint. So you have to have it face up. You get that nice chrome for the engine and for the roll bar. The roll bar is repositionable, but you want it basically straight up like that. Here's the back. You've got that chrome for the exhaust. That looks really nice. And then chrome paint here on the spoiler, and then chrome paint or copper paint on here. So all of that looks really good. I think they did a great job with the paint detail and the coloring on this. Let's put the G1 cartoon up there. I think it's a pretty good match with the G1 cartoon as well. Good choices of colors and good choice of aesthetic overall. There is Dragstrip with the Transform Elements Speedstar, their version of Mirage, and the Fans Toy Smokey, their version of Dragstrip. And you can see that the DX9 Dragstrip is actually quite a bit bigger in terms of, pretty much every dimension. So he is slightly wider, maybe almost the same as Fans Toys, but definitely wider than the Transform Element. Pretty much taller in that dimension, and obviously longer. You can see he's much longer. All of the DX9 figures have been, generally speaking, bigger than the Masterpiece scale. That's just the way they went, and mainly that's so that they could have the combined mode really big. We will be doing a full comparison of these two, so I don't want to spend too much time talking about that, but stay tuned for my versus video on these two. And before we get him transformed, he does come with one accessory, one and only one accessory. It's this gun here. It does come with this tab here that can fit into the slots on either side. So you can put that there. And there you go. Nice metallic purple. Looks nice on there. It would have been nice to have some symmetry here and have two of these. But this is what you get, and I think it looks good. So now let's get him transformed into his robot mode. Go ahead and take this out, set that aside. And we'll start on the front here. The instructions for this are very, very poor. I highly recommend you don't follow the instructions in the book. They will probably cause you to break something. The first step in the book is to pull these apart, and that is not what you want to do. You want to lift up this panel here before you pull that apart. I don't understand why they put out these books if they're going to be so far off from the actual transformation. It is hard to get in here. If you can get a fingernail under there, that'll help. I'm trying not to scratch up any paint here, but go ahead and get that open. So that'll just pop right open, kind of like an engine cover. You can see it was tabbed in there, right there. Now that you've got that open, you can open up these, and these are just going to pull away from this and set to the side like that. All right. Next, we'll take care of the head. So go ahead and open up this panel here, and that whole thing is going to flip downwards. You can see it's going to reveal the head there. Rotate this around, fold this down. That's going to fit into here. I do see a little bit of, and I don't know if that, that's how I saw it in the box too. This edge is a little bit rough. I'm not sure if that's just how it comes or if that's due to wear from transformation, but just wanted to point that out. And this will peg back in here and snap in place. Go ahead and lift up this engine piece here. While we're at it, go ahead and push this downwards, and that's just going to sit right there. Lift this up, rotate around on this panel, fold these in, and that's going to fit right into his chest here. If it doesn't fit smoothly, then you don't have something folded up correctly. So there you go, that's what you should have so far. All right, next we're going to take care of the legs. So go ahead and come down here. You can fold up these exhausts here onto the bottom. Come to the back here, you can open up these panels here and fold out this, and that'll just give you a little bit of room to work. So just set those out like that. Next, you want to pull this apart. It is pegged in here and here, but it gives a little bit of resistance to get further than that. And you have to clear that little brown piece on his leg. It's hard to explain, but right there, you basically have to clear this. Once you get past that, then things get a little bit easier. You can go ahead and fold the foot down like this. You're going to take this wheel, and that's basically going to roll back like that and unpeg from here. And that's going to give you the room to open it up like this. And the further away you get it, the little bit easier it is to clear this. So you're rotating this outwards. As you rotate it out, it's going to accordion out just like most drag strips. That's how they transform. Now I'm going to take this, come to the other side. There's a little panel right here that opens up. That's going to allow you to collapse this down onto that. So you have it, see it was like this, now you're like that. And then you can take this leg and kind of lock everything in place. So first thing I like to do is take this knee panel here, and that is going to flip the other direction, tab back in there, and then peg in on this panel that you opened up. So make sure you get that in, and that's going to kind of lock that leg in. And then on the back of the leg, you're going to lock it in with this. So fold this up, and then this is going to peg in right here. Let's go ahead and peg that in. Next, you're going to take this wheel. That's going to rotate up this way, and then inside his leg, like so. And then you put that foot back down, rotate his foot so that the toe comes like that with a nice flat bottom. And we've got one leg complete. So basically do the same on the other side. There you go, there's his legs all done. Now we're going to take care of his arms. So go ahead and fold this around this way. These are going to rotate downwards. You're going to take this panel here and fold that down. Rotate the arm so you have the two yellow. It should be only yellow in the front, no red, and no holes. Just the yellow piece with the two parts on it. And then you're going to rotate this piece so that you get the elbow in the front. Go ahead and open up this panel on the back. Flip out his hand, and then close this up, and it does peg in there on the back of the arm. Right? So all this color goes to the back, and the front is basically this yellow. Rotate the hand. We'll talk about that hand in a little bit. Again, same on this side. Rotate the arm down. Fold this panel. Make sure you've got yellow on the front, and then hold this. Rotate the elbow so you get the joint in the front. Open up this panel. Flip down the hand. Close this up and tab it in. Then come to the front, and we're going to take care of these wheels. So on the front, go ahead and take these wheels, and they're accordion down on his arms on both sides. And that just gives it a little bit more of a clean look on there. And here we have Dragstrip in his robot mode. And fairly good looking. There are some oddities, but we'll talk about those. Let's take a quick 360. Again, we'll put the G1 cartoon over there so you can take a look. He does have that gold that shines through here in the robot mode, just like it did in the vehicle mode. The gold and the red kind of move to the back of the figure on the arms. So that's nice. I am finding he's a little bit back heavy, so you tend to want to kind of angle his legs out a little bit. But pretty clean on the back, not much backpack at all. So overall, fairly nice looking. You do have this accessory, which you can fold down the handle. Nice looking gun. And that will fit into his hand. It doesn't have a peg, which is interesting. So I think you just open up the hand slightly. He does have the pointer finger on a separate hinge. We'll talk about the hand in just a little bit, but you can just fit it into his hand. It doesn't peg in or anything. It's a good looking gun. So there's a head sculpt up close. He does have a more metallic purple, and the orange is basically a flat, like racing orange. The eyes look a little bit weird because it's got that white outline, and I don't know what it was about the fans toys that I really liked the way they did the visor, but this one just looks a little weird. But overall, not too bad of a face sculpt. There's detail here on the engine block, which his chest always looked like that. Here's some of the detail down here. You can see the paint overall. Here's the back, pretty clean. So there you go. There's some of the detail there. Let's go over the articulation. So the head is on a ball joint, so it goes down to there, up to there, rotates all the way around. Nice tight joint there. Rotates on the shoulder there. It also goes up on this transformation joint, so you can get it, pretty high up if you wanted to. We'll just take the gun out for now. You have a rotation at the, I guess, mid bicep, and then also at the elbow because of the transformation. So it tends to rotate there, which I think is where you would want it to rotate anyway, but you can do either one. Here's the hand. The hand does rotate here. It just looks very strange. So I think the reason it looks strange is, one, it's off-centered from his arm, right? It should be like here. Two, it's really skinny and small compared to, it looks very, very strange. Right? It's like they took it off another figure and put it on this figure. I don't know why they couldn't put a bigger hand or a hand that was just more elegant. But you do get this, so the pointer finger can point separately, but unfortunately it's crooked finger, so you can't really point. You get the rotation at the waist all the way around, and the ab crunch. I would be careful here just with the paint, but you can get it down to there, which is nice. It's nice that he gets that much movement. The legs, there is a hip skirt right there, and it rotates up to there, back to there, a little bit hindered, but it still gets, it goes all the way back, and then out to there, all on friction. Rotation at the mid thigh, so there's a cut joint here. It does break up the sculpt a little bit because of that cut joint. I would have preferred, a rotation inside the thigh, but it does have it. You do have a bend at the knee, 90 degrees. It's a little odd where they placed it. So, unfortunately, the length of his leg from the top of his hip to his knee is really short, and it makes it just look a little strange. But he does have that bend there. You do get an ankle tilt all the way to there, which also helped with transformation. And if you wanted to, you could toe tilt there. So overall, pretty good articulation on this guy. He does tend to be a little bit leaning back because his heel spurs are, kind of thin. So just be aware that, a little chunk there. Just be aware that, you kind of had to lean him forward or rotate his legs out, his hips out, and then he does stand a little bit better. So there he is next to some other Decepticons. Here is the Takara Tomy Megatron and the Fans Toys version of Wild Rider. And he is bigger than Wild Rider, so I'm pretty sure almost all of the DX9 Sonicons have come out bigger. And then here he is next to Megatron. He is smaller than Megatron, which makes sense. That's really what you want. But in general, this DX9 set is bigger in both the alt mode and the robot mode. So final thoughts on Dragstrip here. First of all, I love the name Dragstrip. I think it's cool that they just decided to, let's just use it. Maybe one last jab at Takara Tomy. I do really like the alt mode. I think the vehicle mode looks really nice. The paint is really well done. The sculpt and the look of it is well done. It's solid. It's sturdy. I didn't feel anything risky in terms of transformation. The paint looks still good. And I don't know how many times Michael has transformed this, but obviously has survived several transformations with no issue. So build quality is pretty good as well. What I don't really love about this is the high knees. Just the placement of the knees just seems a little bit high. It makes it harder to pose because you got to balance him. The other thing is the placement and the size of the dainty hands. Just it doesn't appeal to me. And the face sculpt finally it's okay, but it's not my favorite. We will be doing a versus with Vans Toys, so we'll look at that a little bit more, how they compare in terms of all the different features and categories. But I do recommend this. I think it's a good figure, solid final figure from DX9. Sad to say they're gone. I do have some DX9 figures in my collection, but it is sad to see them go, unfortunately. But a great last effort from them. So highly recommend if you can get it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.